Hello and welcome back to Punisher's Paintball. Thank you guys for joining us today. We are going to be reviewing the hot new JT Triad loader, comparing it to the Spire iR2. Personal favorite of mine. This is my backup loader that I currently have in my gear bag. Always love this thing, very reliable. So we're going to see how these guys do compared with each other, price to price, feature to feature. We'll get you guys in on everything. But before we do anything else, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel. When you're done watching and you've decided which one of these you want to buy from Punishers, use the link in the description and then go right to the Punisher site and get them from there. We'll see you after the intro. Alright, so let's get right into it. So we have one brand new loader. This is the first loader that we've seen out of the kind of GI camp at all in, God, I don't remember how many years since the level loader saw its demise because it was terrible, versus the Spire iR2. Really just kind of a new take on the IR platform. The main difference has been the shell, which I'm all about, but let's get really into what you're getting with each of these, right? So first let's talk price. $150 out the gate for everything included. Comes with rain lid, comes with speed feed, everything else that you would need. Any ramps that you would need are already built in. They come stock. There's really nothing else you need to buy for this loader. This guy, $100 stock, but that's with only the rain lid, no speed feed, and then there's also an internal ramp to help feed your paint that you don't get out the gate stock. We do have kind of a package that we run here for $150. So really that puts you at the same price for all the same items with speed feed and internal ramps to help you feed. So price-wise, it is a wash. It's negated. These guys are going to run you the same cost out the door. So let's look at some other kind of features here. They both do come fully apart toollessly, or I should say mostly, I should say. There's a little bit of a nugget in here, but both are very easy to get apart. There's a few more steps with the JT loader, the Triad. So inside here, there's a little yellow tab. Push down on that, which will unlock the button up top to press on to get these separated. Pull it apart, super easy. And then this internal tray, pretty decent at not falling out and just kind of staying in place. I love that. The way to remove the tray, by the way, this is the front ramp I was telling you guys about. The way to remove the tray, there's a little finger hole right in front. You just get under and pull it out. This is held in magnetically. You can see it right on the bottom there, right by where the actual feed hole, the feed neck comes at. Set this off to the side so you will see this is powered by 3 AA batteries. Pretty simple on the bottom here. There's nothing really to get in the way. This is very similar to the Spire 5 in that it is uses both that like vibration sensing technology and it actually has brake beam eyes in the raceway as you get to the feed neck. So it does have that kind of fail-safe built in as dual redundancy, as I like to call it. The actual drive cone comes out easy enough. It is also magnetic, so you can clean this off really easily if you get any broken or very oily paint. So really like that feature. Really, that's a lot of that is more of a premium loader price kind of feature for a very mid-range loader price for $150 as opposed to $250 for the Spire 5. So really do like the value that you get with that. But yeah, super simple. Like I said, it comes with the ramp, very springy. I think that would do a really nice job at making sure that you don't get any jams or not get through all your paint. The way to put it back in, you want to set it back first, let the front kind of fall in place. Let's see if I did it right. Yeah, we're good. And then, honestly, very similar to the Spire iR2. Nose cone goes in, click it down, reach in here, pull the yellow tab up, click that, and then shut it. And there you go, you're all good. Now looking at Spire iR2, how easy it is to take apart. Very, very simple. The locking mechanism itself is actually really just the plastic latching right here on the back. So very easily just kind of unbuckle that, pull it apart, set that here. Now, if you'll see, this is where the ramp would go whenever you do, if you purchase the whole package for $150. So that would you just attach it right here, super easy to do. Whereas with the JT Triad, you pull it out in the front. With this guy, there's a little latch in the back, which also just stays in place. I would argue I feel even more secure with that, just a little bit. But this is where you click to unlatch. Sorry, it's easier to do with your thumb, and then pull it forward. Same thing, nothing really in the bottom shell. Both of these, you could take the shell completely apart and toss it in the dishwasher if you get it that greased and mucked up at an event. So you will see, similarly, also 3 AAA batteries. What I do kind of like is that this has an extra bit of Velcro here to kind of hold it in, as opposed to the JT Triad. They're just kind of in there, and what you get is what you have, and you know, you kind of leaving it up to fate. But this only has an eye system. There is no vibration sensing technology in the iR2. It is a more tech-dumb loader, so there's no fail-safe or anything like that. There's only one mechanism for feeding. So take that into account for what you're getting for what you're paying here. Also, this drive cone cannot be removed toollessly, and to get into any of like the motor or any pieces here, you will also need tools. Whereas at least to remove the drive cone on this one, would be toolless. So I would call that an advantage for the JT Triad. A lot of simplicity though with this loader. That is one of the benefits, is if you're not into having to do a lot with your loader and you want it to just be very simple, very plug and play, I really think the Spire iR2 is a good move for that. And like I said, I find it a little simpler when it comes to assembly and disassembly. It's a little less, not that the JT Triad is finicky, but I just find this a little more tried and true. I don't know how I feel about magnets in my loader, but this goes back together super easily, not a whole lot to it, and it's not coming apart if I just tug on it without pulling on anything. So next up, you saw these both have batteries in them. I would like to weigh these, because I think that should be a relatively pertinent topic when you are talking about getting new paintball gear. Come on, let's turn on. All right, and we're zeroed. Let's clear that off. We'll start with the Spire iR2. Comes in at 1 pound, 0.8 ounces. So 1.08, let's try to remember that. And then I'll grab my Triad here. Coming in at 1 pound, 3.8 ounces. And that is noticeable that I can feel that this is a bit heavier. So you could make the argument that there's no ramp in this loader in the Spire iR2, but that's not real. I don't think that's going to be an entire 3 ounces worth of weight. So I would argue that the JT Triad is the heavier loader. That could have to do with the plastic being maybe a little thicker, a little less pliable. Could also have to do with the magnets being in there. Could be a few different factors. But let's talk like ergonomics of the loader, which I know you're not going to be handling the loader while you're playing, but if you look at them both, the Spire iR2, it is known for sitting up a little higher, which can make it a little top heavy on your gun. I have had that kind of sensation as well, where it feels a little different when I'm snapping. So I would say that is something to keep in mind. Whereas the JT Triad gets its capacity by being longer, which I actually really like. I think that gives it a really balanced feel when it's on guns. As we've tested this and shot it before, I really actually kind of like that. It's also narrower, so when you're looking around your loader to try to see targets, I do think that would be a slight advantage. Again, it's only slight, but this is a game of inches, so that can matter to some people. So I actually give a lot of credit to the JT Triad, given all the features that it comes with out of the box that you don't have to pay for, don't have to ask for, nothing special. Color options, though, you are going to have more color options with the Spire iR2. As of right now, all you really get for colors is the speed feed and this like kind of clear glass up top, this clear plastic up top. That's the only really color accentuation that you'll get with the JT Triad. So for some people that can really matter. I personally just think black don't crack when it comes to my gear. Most of my gear is black, my tank, my hopper, even right now my gun, my mask, like pretty much all of it is just black because you kind of can't go wrong. So for me, that's not as much of a factor. However, this will feed faster, I believe, and I can try to do some kind of speed test between the two of these, but I do believe that because this was averaging at about 15 balls per second. Spire iR2 I think does a bit faster than the Spire standard platforms, but I don't think it's quite getting up to 15 plus as the JT Triad would. So I really think, guys, for your money, given that these are going to be about the same out of the gate, I would give the JT Triad a try. I have not seen issues with it here. I've heard some issues that the pros are having with them, but it's also the first year the product has been out, and I think there's still a little bit of field testing that they're kind of doing on it. But I really actually do have faith in the JT Triad. I do recommend this loader. Nothing wrong with the Spire iR2. Like I said, that is what I use, but JT Triad is a really solid attempt, and I would love to see more of you guys trying to use them. So, with that all said, if you guys did enjoy this video, please drop a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And when you've made your mind up on which one of these things you want to pick up from Punishers, use the link in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. I'm so free.